What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov's rivalry has erupted once again, turning social media into a battlefield. As McGregor continues his highly publicized spiritual journey, the one chapter he still seems unable to close is his feud with Khabib. Yesterday, reports surfaced of the two clashing online after McGregor accused Khabib of scamming fans through the sale of digital papakas, claims that reportedly earned Khabib over $4.3 million. Following the initial exchange, things escalated quickly. McGregor fired off a harsh message on X, demanding Khabib apologize for using his late father's name to promote what he called overpriced gifts. McGregor mocked the idea that something sold could be considered a gift, calling Khabib low IQ, and accusing him of exploiting his father's legacy for profit. Khabib responded by highlighting the 56 former addicts he says he helps at rehabilitation centers in Dagestan, inviting McGregor to visit and claiming Mexico's treatment clearly hadn't helped him. McGregor retaliated with another barrage, questioning who he would even meet in Dagestan since, according to him, Khabib avoids confrontation. He accused Khabib of tax evasion, lying, and causing suffering for his own family, ending the message with a sharp reminder that Allah knows all. The exchange seemed to cool only when McGregor sarcastically joked about buying one of the digital papakas, claiming it had passed through multiple resellers from India to Pakistan before reaching him. Many fans quickly pointed out the irony. McGregor himself once promoted a crypto project called Real, which failed to meet its funding goals. Although the project refunded investors and wasn't considered a scam, critics noted the hypocrisy of McGregor's accusations. The conflict has reignited one of MMA's most bitter rivalries, leaving fans debating who crossed the line and who made the stronger case. With tensions rising again, the MMA community is watching closely to see whether this online feud leads to anything beyond words. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way, you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Daniel Cormier has once again taken aim at Jon Jones, proving that one of MMA's most intense rivalries refuses to fade. The latest exchange began when Jones appeared in Chechnya for an exclusive event hosted by the president's son, where he also signed a major ambassador deal. While Jones was overseas celebrating the occasion, Cormier took to Instagram and left a pointed comment on a video featuring his longtime rival. Instead of praising the milestone or ignoring it altogether, DC questioned why Jones wasn't spending Thanksgiving with his family. Cormier wrote, "Why is Jon Jones not with his family on Thanksgiving holiday?" a remark that immediately stirred conversation throughout the MMA community. Fans know Cormier can be petty when it comes to Jones, but this jab seemed unusually personal, reigniting old tensions that many hoped were beginning to quiet down. The two former champions share a rivalry marked by competitive fire, genuine animosity, and years of public back and forths. Whether inside the cage, at press conferences, or on social media, their history is filled with heated words and unforgettable moments. Even after their fighting careers moved in different directions, the friction never fully disappeared. Cormier's recent comment suggests that despite time, retirement, and new professional roles, old wounds still linger. The MMA community remains split on Cormier's latest move. Some believe DC should let Jones live his life and stay out of his personal matters, arguing that family-related criticisms cross an unnecessary line. Others feel that given their long-standing rivalry and the history of deeply personal exchanges between them, Cormier's remark is simply part of the ongoing competitive energy that defined their careers. Whether Jones responds or chooses to ignore the comment, one thing is clear: the rivalry between Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones continues to live on, fueled by pride, history, and a mutual refusal to let the past stay in the past. Move on to another news. Jon Jones has officially responded to Daniel Cormier's recent Instagram comments, and he chose a surprisingly calm and heartfelt approach rather than firing back with hostility. Earlier, Cormier took a public jab at Jones, questioning why the heavyweight champion wasn't spending Thanksgiving with his family while attending an exclusive event overseas. The remark quickly gained traction, prompting fans to wonder whether Jones would ignore the criticism or reignite their long-standing feud. Instead of contributing to the tension, Jones posted a short but meaningful video message this morning, shifting the conversation toward compassion rather than conflict. In his response, Jones expressed warm Thanksgiving wishes to everyone who may be spending the holiday alone or away from their loved ones. He acknowledged that not everyone has the privilege of being surrounded by family during the holidays, families and took a moment to extend support to those who might feel overlooked. Jones said he wanted to wish a happy Thanksgiving to the people who are not with their friends and family today, offering a sincere message of encouragement. He added that if anyone watching had gone through the entire day without hearing the words, "I love you," he wanted to personally assure them that both he and his dog, Dutch, loved them. With Dutch by his side, Jones emphasized kindness, positivity, and gratitude, delivering a message that felt intentionally peaceful in contrast to Cormier's pointed remark. The video closed with Jones wishing everyone blessings, love, and a warm holiday, reinforcing that he chose to respond from a place of maturity rather than hostility. For many fans, this unexpected tone showed a different side of Jones, one focused on empathy rather than rivalry. His message has already sparked discussion across social media, with some praising the champion for taking the high road and others wondering whether his calm demeanor was also a subtle way of dismissing the drama altogether. Regardless of interpretation, Jones' response has added a new chapter to the complex dynamic between the two former champions, proving that even in moments of public tension, he is capable of responding with composure and grace. Move on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev has signaled that he's ready to face Nassourdine Imavov, responding directly to Imavov's recent announcement about his plans with the UFC. Earlier today, Imavov revealed on social media that he had a productive meeting with the organization, sharing that the discussion centered around his pursuit of a title shot. He emphasized that he made his intentions perfectly clear. He wants a championship opportunity next and is willing to wait for it if necessary. Imavov stated that he refuses to take detours or distractions, adding that great achievements require great preparation. Although he admitted he's not accustomed to waiting, he believes this time patience is essential. Following Imavov's statement, Khamzat Chimaev didn't hesitate to respond. In a confident message, Chimaev said he is fully prepared to fight Imavov once Ramadan concludes, which falls on March 19, 2026. His response carried both respect and competitive fire, telling Imavov that he will see him after Ramadan and suggesting that the French contender use the time to sharpen his wrestling skills. Chimaev's trademark intensity was evident in his message, addressing Imavov as bratishka, a term meaning little brother, blending familiarity with a clear challenge. The potential matchup immediately sparked excitement within the MMA community, as fans have long anticipated Chimaev's return and Imavov's rise has created buzz around the middleweight division. Both fighters possess dangerous skill sets, contrasting styles, and strong momentum heading into 2026, making the bout a highly compelling matchup. With Imavov focused on securing a title shot and Chimaev openly welcoming the fight, the stage appears set for a high-stakes showdown once Ramadan ends. The anticipation is building as fans await official confirmation from the UFC. Will this clash be the next major middleweight battle on the horizon? Share your thoughts. Are you excited for Chimaev versus Imavov after Ramadan? Move on to another news. With UFC 323 approaching next weekend, one of the biggest updates circulating in the MMA world is the UFC's decision to release a fighter from its roster following events at UFC Qatar. Yesterday, it was revealed that Merrick Billow has been cut from the organization after a series of developments that surfaced through his team and social media. According to his manager, Bartosz Barilak, the release stemmed from Billow declining a quick turnaround fight for UFC 324. The UFC reportedly wanted him to step in again on just 2 weeks' notice, only days after his recent matchup in Qatar. For those who may not have followed the event closely, Billow suffered a loss to Denzel Freeman during the UFC Qatar card. Following the fight, he apparently sustained an injury significant enough to make competing again within such a short window unrealistic. His manager stated that Billow informed the UFC of the injury and his inability to return so quickly, leading to his decision to decline the offer. Despite this, the UFC proceeded with removing him from the active roster. While this explanation reflects the fighter's side of the situation, it remains unclear whether the UFC had additional reasons for making the decision. The organization has been known to cut fighters for a range of factors, including performance trends, injuries, activity level, or contract disagreements. However, the timing of this release, coming directly after a declined short-notice bout, has fueled conversations among fans and analysts about the pressure fighters often face when dealing with quick turnarounds. Billow's manager expressed disappointment but noted that the fighter needed time to recover properly rather than rushing into another bout in a compromised condition. As UFC 323 nears and new storylines develop, the situation serves as a reminder of how unpredictable the sport can be and how quickly a fighter's UFC trajectory can change. Whether Billow will return to the promotion in the future or pursue opportunities elsewhere remains to be seen, but for now, the UFC roster moves forward without him. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev may now be a two-division UFC champion, but according to former welterweight king Tyron Woodley, he is still living in the shadow of his longtime friend and mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Ever since Makhachev entered the UFC, discussions about his skills, trajectory, and legacy have consistently included comparisons to Khabib. The two have been linked for years, sharing both a deep friendship and a dominant fighting style shaped under the same training system. While Makhachev does not hold an undefeated record like Khabib, he has achieved something the former lightweight champion never attempted, capturing both the UFC lightweight and welterweight titles. Even with this milestone, Woodley believes Makhachev has not surpassed Khabib's legendary status. Speaking in an interview with new betting sites, Woodley said that Islam remains synonymous with Khabib in the public mind. He explained that whenever he hears Islam's name, the first thing that comes to mind is Khabib's prodigy, suggesting that the association is still too overwhelming for Islam to separate his own identity from the legacy of his mentor. Woodley added further context to his claim by pointing out that Makhachev's recent welterweight title win did not come against fighters like himself or Georges St. Pierre, two of the division's most iconic champions. He clarified that he meant no disrespect, but insisted that Islam is still relatively unknown internationally compared to Khabib. Woodley also noted that Makhachev's win came against Jack Della Maddalena during the Australian fighter's first title defense, a matchup he believes was stylistically ideal for Islam. Despite Woodley's argument, Makhachev's resume continues to grow. He has defended the lightweight belt 4 times, compared to Khabib's 3. Yet, Khabib's undefeated 29-0 career remains one of the most powerful achievements in MMA history, making comparisons between the two men difficult to settle. Meanwhile, Woodley himself is preparing for a major challenge. After Chris Weidman withdrew, Woodley stepped in to face Anderson Silva in a boxing match scheduled for December 19 in Miami on a Netflix event headlined by Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua. Silva expressed respect for Woodley and emphasized his commitment to honoring the boxing world. Woodley, for his part, said moments like these, stepping up on short notice against legends, are the opportunities that create lasting legacies. Move on to another news. The UFC delivered major news during the Cowboys vs. Chiefs halftime show, as Dana White revealed several blockbuster announcements live on Instagram. Earlier in the day, the UFC teased that a major update was coming, and shortly after, a trailer promoting their new partnership with Paramount dropped. The trailer featured an intense face-off between Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett, immediately sparking speculation among fans. During the halftime broadcast, Dana White made it official. The main event for UFC 324 will be Paddy Pimblett vs. Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight championship. This confirms one of the most talked about matchups of the year and sets the stage for a high-stakes showdown. White also revealed that the UFC 325 main event, taking place just 1 week later, will feature Alexander Volkanovski vs. Diego Lopez, with the event airing exclusively on Paramount+. Ilia Topuria addressed his absence from these bookings earlier, explaining on social media that he is dealing with personal issues and will not be competing in the first quarter of the year. As a result, the winner of Gaethje vs. Pimblett will claim the interim title and eventually meet Topuria when he returns. Dana White continued the announcement streak by confirming that Kayla Harrison will defend her bantamweight title against Amanda Nunes. After defeating Juliana Pena to claim the belt, Harrison will face Nunes in what is already being called one of the most anticipated women's fights in years. White expressed full confidence that the matchup will deliver an unforgettable performance. Other major fights were also revealed for the upcoming cards. Sean O'Malley will face Song Yadong in a high-profile bantamweight bout, while Waldo Cortez Acosta will meet Derek Lewis in a heavyweight clash. Acosta is riding strong momentum after taking a fight on 2 days' notice and scoring a knockout victory, adding even more excitement to his upcoming meeting with the always dangerous Lewis. Additional matchups announced include Arnold Allen vs Gene Silva, Alexa Grasso vs Rose Namajunas, and a newly added fight between Umar Nurmagomedov and Davison Figueiredo, which was finalized just hours before the announcement. Dana White closed the update by officially confirming that 1 week after UFC 324, the UFC will return to Sydney, Australia, on January 31st for UFC 325, headlined by Volkanovski vs Lopez. The announcement marks one of the most stacked multi-event reveals the UFC has ever delivered, promising a thrilling start to the upcoming year.